Okay, so let's see. One of the things I was talking about white power stuff the other day, right? One of the main uh, operating principles in the movement is people that have a very have external locus of control. So basically, that says, the world is more powerful. The world does more. The world is doing things to me. And that's how they think mainly in terms of. It is a tendency. It is a habit. Is it ingrained? I'm not really sure. I do believe, from what I understand, I think that it's understood as being sort of like inborn, more or less, like a character sort of trait that shows up, but I can't really remember. So, but anyways, we have the external locus of control, which means not that it is very hard and I am not succeeding, but I am not succeeding because someone is making it hard for me to do. Now, I'm not saying that it can never happen, that other human beings or things outside of your control exist. They do exist, and they can make things harder for you. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a tornado, it's going to be really hard for me that day to fucking be alive. It's not going to be easy to be alive that day. But I do not feel that the tornado is more powerful than me, because I have the ability to make decisions, like to go find a safe place underground to wait out the tornado. So I have control. I have a sense of being powerful and having the ability to counter reality. And if you do not have this, I don't know, your life just basically sucks. Like, you're so against yourself. It's not even funny, in my opinion. But they had this thing over here. But what it makes me think of, and I was thinking about it, it was also, as well, escape from freedom. Escape from freedom, which you might have heard of, used before, is an idea that was, it is an idea that Erich Fromm basically expounded upon in his book, Escape from Freedom. Erich Fromm is, I guess he's a philosopher. I'm not really positive. I read his other book, which was Theory of Human Aggression, which I was very interested in because I am very interested in human violence. I am very interested in particular any kind of human violence, but the more abstracted it seems to be from humanity, the more interested I am into it. Because it's like, you cannot, like you said, if your husband cheats on you and you throw a fucking table at him, most people can understand that why you threw a table at him. You were really, really upset. And then you have I was watching Israel Keys the other day, and he went and stole a girl from a coffee shop, and then hung her from the rafters of his garage, and repeatedly raped her until she died and killed her. So these are both actions of humanity. And they are both very aggressive, but why are they existing? One is understandable to the common human, and one is very abstracted from the common human experience. But that book in particular ends up going into a very long treatise on Hitler, which again is definitely, I think, is particularly for that time period, it was very novel to see this kind of violence and aggression acting in such an abstracted way. So he decided he wanted to talk about that. So, but you have Escape from Freedom, which is, I mean, in my sensibility, the way that I sum it up is basically saying the escape from freedom is realizing that the world, and being independent and being an individual and having to make all of your decisions and be responsible for each and every one of them is incredibly tedious. Nobody wants to fucking do it because it's very hard. It's very, very, very difficult, and human beings necessarily shy away from things that are difficult and painful. We try to avoid them. And so to me, the escape from freedom is the desire to want to curl up into a ball under a warm blankie and just pretend like nothing exists, because you're not responsible for any of it. That's somebody else's problem. So that is the escape from freedom. I am actually going to read to you from this, though, because I did not read that book. I know a lot about it, but I did not read the book to like really give you like a first person summation necessarily that's going to be useful to anybody. Like I said, I curl up into a ball. That's my thing. But okay, so Erich Fromm and the Escape from Freedom. This thing always wants to show. Okay, here we go. Core concepts. Fromm argues that as humanity gained freedom from traditional social constraints, it lost its sense of security and belonging, resulting in deep isolation. This psychological burden leads individuals to try to escape their freedom through three primary mechanisms. Authoritarianism, submitting to a powerful leader or system to regain a sense of security at the expense of individuality. Fromm used this to analyze the rise of Nazism and fascism in Europe. Destructiveness, the impulse to destroy others or the world as a way to eliminate the overwhelming feeling of powerlessness. And automaton conformity, giving up one's unique identity to blend seamlessly into society and adopt the personality expected of one's culture. A path to positive freedom. Fromm counters these escape mechanisms by advocating freedom too. Rather than surrendering to authority or conforming, individuals can achieve authentic self-realization through spontaneous and creative relationships with humanity and nature. He identifies love and meaningful work as the primary avenues for living an authentic life without sacrificing individuality. See, he's like really smart. No, I really do actually I don't agree with him generally in theory of human destructiveness or human aggression. I didn't agree with his summation, his ending. He's a bit idealistic, and he tends to go into it. To me, it's kind of fantasy or fantastic solutions, oh, human love is gonna save the day, these kind of ideas that are a little chintzy, and I don't really get into them. If you like it and it works for you, then that's all it really fucking matters. Is it doing something positive for you? If you're being positive and it's positive for you, fucking do it. I don't agree with that. But there's no way. It's just an idea of how we're looking at the world. I look at the world. The way I look at the world is an acceptance of. I think of it a large extent is an acceptance of how ruined it is. I don't mourn it. I think I did for a very long time, but I don't mourn it. I accept it as it is, and I say, okay. That's what it is. I still like being here. I actually am less suicidal than I was when I was younger, and I was mourning, because I think that grief is a lot harder to deal with than to deal with the acceptance or the difficulty of the status. So that's my story for today. Maybe I'll talk later.